I know, it's been 2, possibly even 3 weeks, I'm not sure when this is coming out, that I have not put a video out. I am sorry. Now, one thing I've been waiting for with this car, because when you buy a car that has been sitting for a very long time and then you start driving it, obviously problems are going to arise. And it's something I've been waiting for, and it's a reason I've been a bit worried to drive this car any sort of long distance, because I don't know what's going to happen just because it's been sitting for so long. Anyway, the other day I came into the garage and I see this coolant, and there was a nice puddle over there under that wheel, as you can see. So it was a nice trail across the garage here. So here we go. Alright, the problems are starting, water pump, something like that, but thank God it's just a radiator cap. So it's just dribbling down sort of under here. This cap looks shitty anyway, and it was very hard to get on and off. So I'm going to replace this. Pretty rat shit in there. So we got a nice new one. Beautiful. And while we're messing with cooling system here, I bought another one of these, which I've actually had sitting for a while over here. So I may as well chuck that on, so that looks all nice and new. Actually going to reuse the old cap because the genuine cap is black and the cap you get with it is yellow, which is obviously wrong. Look at the color difference. It's a shame the aftermarket ones don't come with all this sort of imprinted on it, because the VN ones do. Like the aftermarket ones have a GM part number and everything on it, but oh well, it is what it is. But I reckon I'm going to get rid of that Daco writing on it, that's for sure. It's a hell of a lot better. Nice clean engine bay. I actually cannot wait to paint all this stuff. Engine bay will look amazing. Now tell me if anyone else does this, but I just came back from the wreckers, right? I had a little list of just little bullshit things that aren't HSV specific or anything like that, that I thought, oh, if I can grab them at a wreckers it'll be good. One of which being these clips, which are, I'm pretty sure, VRVS specific, because VN are a different shape, and they are for the plastic that is sort of under your steering column where your knees are, so the whole bottom of the dash. That hold that up. So there's one of those missing. I thought I'll grab a couple, and I also wanted a couple of little screws, if I could get a window switch, some tail lights. Anyway, I was there that long at this wreckers. It's one of these places where you just got to tell them and they'll go look for it. It's not like a pick apart or anything like that. I reckon I was there for 45 minutes to an hour waiting. You know, they answer the phone, another person comes, they help them, and I'm just standing there. After all that, out of all the things I wanted, all that he could get for me was these 2 clips. I'm like, whatever, I've wasted my time, I'm here. I'm like, alright, how much for the clips? I thought he was going to say, you know, just don't worry about it. $20. $10 each for these clips. I couldn't believe it. But because I was there so long and I'm just standing there, what am I going to say after all that time? No, don't worry about these 2 little clips of $20. So I just paid it. Does anyone else do that, where they feel like pressured, or they feel it's more awkward to leave than to just pay? It's hard to explain, but if you get where I'm coming from, leave a comment below. But most expensive clips in the world. So this is the trim I'm talking about here, with one clip here, here, and on the other side. So this one was missing. So now I have one spare if anyone else needs one. 65 bucks I'll sell this one for. I want to grab people's opinions on suspension for this car. Now, remember a few videos ago I said I was a bit flustered, like I didn't know what to do with this car. I was a bit all over the place. I'm now at that exact same stage with suspension now. I have about 30 tabs open on my laptop and phone with all these different scenarios and routes that I want to go suspension wise. I'm just talking springs and shocks at this point. And I'm flustered. I don't know what the hell is going on with me in this car, but I can't get my head together on this thing. I thought I'm just going to do coilovers because it's so much easier. I don't have to pull front struts apart and replace shock inserts and all this crap at home, try and do it on the floor. I can literally just pull a whole strut out, put the adjustable coilover in, and it's done. And a decent spring and shock setup by the time you buy like strut tops and all this stuff, it costs you know, between 1,500 and 2 grand, which is the same as a set of coilovers anyway. But there's two issues with that. One, I've only been able to find fronts. I don't know if I'm searching wrong, but all the brands I've found that do VR fronts, which are the same all the way up to like VZ, I think it's all the same shit, I've only been able to find fronts. I wanted to go down the BC route, but they only do fronts. Can anyone give me some suggestions on some not hunk of shit coilovers? Like, not these, I don't want crap, that do front and rears for a VR with IRS. The second issue I have is, this is another thing that's, I don't know, it's all in here, and it doesn't really make sense to probably anyone else apart from me. I feel when you modify a car, well for me anyway, I need to stick to, I don't know if you'd call it genre, but like, I'm not a person that, like, I love Jap cars. And I love wheels. Like, if I had all the money in the world, I would have a whole garage just full of old Jap wheels and rare stuff like that. I'm all about Jap wheels. But I would never in a million years, no matter what Commodore, Falcon, anything like that I had, would it ever have Jap wheels on it. Like, I feel a car needs to be... Oh, this is so hard to explain. I'm never going to have a Commodore without Commodore wheels on it, or hubcaps, or, you know, interceptors or anything like that, same as a Falcon. I'm only ever going to have Jap wheels on a Jap car, if that makes sense. And I feel the same with suspension. I feel coilovers are like a Jap car thing, and they don't belong on these cars. I feel like a Commodore needs to have like a decent spring shock combo, which is what I did in the VN and did in the VL. And it's even stopping me buying coilovers for this car, because I'm like, they don't fit the genre, if that makes sense. This is super hard to explain, but if it makes sense, feel free to add anything in the comments also. So I don't know what route to take, you know, do I do Coney's and King Springs? I'd love to do Bilsteins, but they're so expensive and they don't do fronts for these. I'm worried that I buy the wrong King Springs, I put all this together and it's doesn't sit how I want it to sit. That's another route, another reason I'd like to go the coilover route, because I can set it to literally any height I want at any time. Like for instance, HSV is lower than normal Commodore's factory. So for instance, if I buy, like what I did in the VL and the VN, I did King Spring Ls in the front and SLs in the back. But is a HSV already lower, so that, or if I did normal Commodore Ls and SLs, it would sit the same height. So do I need to do SL and SSL, or what do I need to do here? It's all over the joint. People comment below, help me out here. I honestly don't know what the hell I'm doing. And I need to lower this thing, it's shitting me, I hate it at this height. So if you remember, this light is off on the right hand rear. As you can see, it goes down, but won't go back up. But from here, alright, maybe not. Hang on, I think the child thing's on again. Alright, yeah, so from here it goes up and down. So, look, going by the light being out, I'm going to say it's a switch. So we got another switch. This was not cheap, so it better be it. So with all this out, and the plug all the way up, tucked under here, new one in, and lights up, and works. Believe it or not, I bloody fixed something. Now I'm thinking I'm going to go find the old shifter out of my VN and swap just the handle over, because it's in much better condition than this one. Actually, now that I have them side by side, the original one is in much better condition. So VN1, you're going in the bin, mate, sorry. Oh yeah! Alright, I've got another new toy. This stuff was all on sale, so I thought, why the hell not? Let's jump in the deep end. I can't believe I haven't bought one of these over the however many years I've been doing this, but 5-inch polisher. This is all from waxit.com, I think it was. Comes all as a kit, or you select it as a kit. So comes with a whole heap of pads, like heaps of pads, a couple of rags, and I even selected it with a few products. So there's a cutters, swirl remover, wax, and the polishing compound. And it also comes with a big box of Cheetos. But I've decided I'm going to give this thing a go, because what I pay to have like the WRX paint corrected, paid for all this, so why not give it a go? if it doesn't work out, oh well, I have this stuff to sort of half-ass cars in the future. And I'll leave the bringing paintwork back to the professionals. It actually looks really good in the camera, the paintwork, but trust me, it's very scratchy. Hopefully you can sort of pick it up. But let's give this a go, and I learnt from my mate, always tape up anything rubber because polish will absolutely destroy it and you'll never get it back off. Now you gotta do this how they do it on the internet, of course. But starting with the cutters and the harshest pad. Now the polishing compound and the softer pad. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to tell, but it really brings out the metallic. I don't know. Can you see the difference from the door to the guard? Trust me, it's much better. The unfortunate thing is now, I gotta do the whole car. Oh god. But if anyone can give me some tips, what am I doing wrong? Am I moving too fast, too slow, too much pressure, not enough pressure, right pads, wrong pads? I don't know. But I think this is opening a whole new can of worms now buying this thing, because I'm gonna be going hard on the cars now. Fuck. Anyway, let's do this whole car. Wish me luck. And of course, the second I get out here, the sun goes away and it starts raining. But it has come out absolutely magnificent. Unfortunately, with no sun, the color doesn't really present how it looks in real life. But the paint came up really good. And this was all because of the roof. And I'm gonna say the roof is now a 7 out of 10. Those bird shit stains that were there, that I mentioned at the start, are still there, but they're just less visible. So they're now hidden, like you'd have to look or I'd have to tell you, you know what I mean? So it's not too bad. All right, if I talk a bit more shit, the sun might come out. So what we're getting painted, I've decided on front bar, rear bar and side skirts. Front bar because it's stone chipped to shit and there's scratches and it's all stuffed underneath. Skirts because of this stuff and you know, stuff like this. There's a crack there. Rear bar because of this stuff and all the cracky shit that's sort of at the back here. So, but that is it. She has come out pretty bloody good. Just picture it lowered and with a nice exhaust. God, I hate the height. Absolutely no sun, I can't believe it. Also, has anyone painted these before? This rubber mold? Because I know this is a very common thing. They go to shit here. The other side's actually a lot worse. Has anyone painted them and had good luck with that? Because to get them back like this would be amazing. Now Anthony did paint my WRX little pod things and they were rubber, so I might have to hit him up and see if he can do those molds on the car, because I'm assuming they're part of the glass, like the VN rear quarter windows, where you can't pull this off unless you pull the window out, which there is no chance in hell I'm doing. So I reckon I'm going to leave the bonnet as well. I'll just touch it up, like all the chippy stuff. I might even go over it again and cut it a bit harder, but it's come up pretty good, just chippy. But I'm going to leave it because, as I mentioned before, to do the bonnet, we've got to paint the guards now. It's getting too much. Like, you're going too far. I don't want to paint half this car. Like, no thank you. And yeah, she's come up pretty bloody good, to be honest. Alright boys and girls, we got some sun. So the colour looks pretty damn good in the sun. But anyway, that is going to be it for this week. Sorry about the long wait, I do apologise. I'm trying my hardest to get these videos out while not spending $1 million every week trying to do a video. Can't promise next week, so I'm not going to say see you next week, but I will see you soon and hope you're enjoying the HSV content.